Saturday, June 22nd, time for us to talk technology on the Experts program here on Power Talk. And Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, is with us. Good morning, Luis.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm well today. Thank you so much for asking. So we're going to talk about Apple's AI efforts, and we've seen some of this before. By the way, I've been seeing stories about a new Apple OS for mobile devices. I think it's going to be 18.0.1, and that's going to have a bunch of AI features in it. So is that somewhat related to this?
Yeah, that's exactly related to this. So this, Apple just had their Worldwide Developers Conference last week, or a couple weeks ago, and they unveiled, finally, one of the worst kept secrets in the world, Apple Intelligence, as they call it, their version of AI, the play on the initials. And they're partnering with OpenAI, which is, the kind of the premier provider of large language model, artificial intelligence engines, to provide these AI features across all of their products, the iPhone, the iPad, the Macs, new devices that are coming out later this fall. But they unveiled some of the features, including Siri is going to be AI enabled, much like Copilot that Microsoft has on Windows desktops. And even Amazon has announced that Alexa, our tried and true digital assistant that's been around for a decade now, it seems, is soon to get some artificial intelligence herself and be able to do much more than just answer random questions. So everybody's, joining the AI bandwagon, and Apple is just the latest company to announce their intro into AI and what that looks like.
I wonder how this is going to manifest itself in the software update that we're going to see coming to the iPhones and the other Apple devices.
Yeah, much like when Samsung recently updated their OS, and I own a Samsung, so I got to be a beneficiary of it. It includes a lot of AI features that really make your life easier, especially with the cameras. You have the ability to do some things that Apple's devices can already do, but now you can just do them like edit photos on the fly, have it recommend what the settings should be for the particular type of photo or video that you want to take. So it's much more interactive process at the moment that you are using the device, rather than waiting after the fact and use some editing software to clean up the picture or the video that you took. And so those kind of features you'll see in there. You'll be able to ask Siri to do things like set reminders or set alarms, which you can do now, but now Siri is going to be able to do things like if you say, hey, set an appointment for 3 o'clock tomorrow to talk to mom, and it'll say, okay, I can do that, but you already have an appointment at 3 o'clock. Are you sure you want to do that? So the idea is that you have more of a digital assistant that's more interactive with you, rather than just a kind of a dumb automation device that does whatever you tell it to do without really thinking about it.
Right. And one of the things that Apple has cautioned about this new AI going into, say, your iPhone or your tablet is that anything that is the iPhone 5 and below is now obsolete for this. You will not be able to run that operating system on it. And I think the first edition of the SE is not going to be able to handle it, but everything above that, like iPhone 6 and up, and the second edition of the iPhone SE, and of course the tablets, will be able to handle this OS upgrade. But, and here's the big caveat, will you have the memory space on your Apple device for this particular OS upgrade? Because one of the things about these Apple software upgrades is they are huge data hogs. My phone, which is a second edition SE, came with 64 gigs, which I thought was a lot when I got it. And now I have 12 and a half gigs left. And even though that sounds like, well, you have maybe 20% of your capacity left. The problem is that memory, or that 64 gigs, isn't only for storing things, but it also helps facilitate the processing speed of the unit and its functionality. And
that is, that's one of the things that Apple is doing subtly with the introduction of Apple Intelligence. Is a lot of folks have held on to these older devices because they work really well. There's no real compelling reason for them to spend more money and upgrade a device that they completely own and have fully paid off. But now this might entice some of those folks, especially if they have older devices that may be at the edge of being able to be upgraded to this new OS, but like you point out, may not be ideally suited for it. Maybe some of those folks will decide, okay, now is the time to upgrade my device to a brand new iPhone or a brand new iPad that has the horsepower to do what I want to do with artificial intelligence.
Right. And to give you an idea, idea. The software updates themselves, and the operating system itself on my phone represents 40% of what has been used of my 64 gigs. So it's not like I've overloaded my phone with a ton of apps and saved pictures and things like that. It's actually where the bulk is coming from is their operating system is crowding out other uses on my phone.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the nature of the game, right? The more features and functionality you want to have on a phone, especially when you are looking at something like introducing artificial intelligence to that handheld that was really never designed. Not only is the hardware not suited for it, but the capacity that it has, the storage space is really not suited for it. It's going to be a challenge for some people.
So now I'm going to have to look at some point, say, because I really like the SE. I'm going with the SE 3rd edition with 256 gigs of RAM and see if any of those are available. And that would probably...
Yeah, and let's see what's there, and hopefully some of the capabilities of this new AI world, things like the improved Siri and the ability to have contextual relevant interactions with your devices. Hopefully those will be possible on whatever device is available out there.
Right, and I note now that a brand new SE with 256 gigs is $580, $600. If you get the refurbished one, it's $300. It's half the price. So there you go. Or you can get it for nothing if you sign away your life to Verizon or AT&T.
Yeah.
It shows
so
that, zero. But now how much would you pay? Like, what kind of ironclad contract do you have to sign, and for how many years are they going to own you?
Yeah, they love to give you a free phone that isn't really free.
Right, and they're going to own you longer than the phone is useful.
Yeah, exactly. And just when you're like, okay, my contract ends, then they're like, oh, but now you need this new phone. Let's extend your contract for free.
Exactly. There ain't no free lunch.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, that's Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today here on Power Talk Radio. Online, it's alvareztg.com. The X handle is @AlvarezTG. And Luis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
You can give us a call at 866-78-I-TEAM. That's 866-784-8326.
And looking ahead to Monday, we're talking about meat cutting.
Meat cutting robots, my friend, the new innovation that is going to be helping keep costs low and give you the delicious ribs that you still want. So listen in and learn more.
And get your bib on. And join us Monday at 8:30 with Luis Alvarez here on Power Talk. Thank you, Luis.
Take care, my friend.